Hi guys, what's up? It's Alex here, and today we are here to talk about reverse grids because I think Autosport put up an article a few days after, or maybe a day or so after, the Chinese Grand Prix, obviously talking about reverse grids in Formula 1 and how Lewis Hamilton apparently proved in the Chinese Grand Prix that reverse grids would work, which is a bit confusing considering I'm not sure what's working about coming from last place to finish 7th or 6th or wherever it was. Or wherever, I don't even know where he finished in the end. But he didn't exactly have an amazing race, to be perfectly honest. And I'm not sure how that's proving anything, but let's talk about it nonetheless. So, I guess the idea about this is the fact that, reverse grids would mean that somebody that isn't a Mercedes would win a race, which I guess is the idea, or the idea that whoever isn't the best car, if there was a reverse grid, would win the race. But as I can't read the article, sorry, because I don't have Autosport Premium. If someone does have the article, maybe could screenshot it to me. That would be absolutely awesome, so I can give it in a bit more depth. But I've got a couple of things I can talk about. So if it was a complete reverse grid, and it meant that everyone did qualifying as quickly as possible, and then they just reversed the grid order, that would be a bit weird to start off with. I mean, there's no point in qualifying it. You could just reverse the championship order. That would make maybe a bit more sense. But yeah, I can't see that one ever coming into Formula 1, let's be honest. I mean, I can't ever see them doing qualifying, Rosberg goes on pole position, and then they completely reverse the grid. So even though Rosberg had the best time in qualifying, he started 22nd. That wouldn't make any sense whatsoever, in my opinion. What could make more sense, and I'm not sure if there's ever been a case like this in Formula 1, where there's two races. So, obviously it works in GP2, and GP3, British Touring Cars, all that sort of stuff. It works in those series, but the idea of a two-race format or a three-race format in touring cars, in some touring car series, I can't see it working in Formula 1. I think the fans go there for one race and one race only. At the end of the day, some people, and two races just draws it out even more, obviously, because we have the grid and everything. People get interviewed on the grid, and that stuff takes up like hours. And we could have a race at, ended up having races at like 8 AM and then another one at like 3 or 4 PM, just because all the rubbish in between that no one really cares about. It's just the press and the media just trying to get all the the snippets or whatever to put on the front page or whatever. So to be perfectly honest, I can't see a two-race format working either. So I'm not, as I said, I haven't read the article, so I suppose it throws up a lot of ideas here, but I'm not sure how reverse grids could ever work in Formula 1. A two-race format, I mean, it would have to be over 2 days, to be perfectly honest. You'd have to have practice on a Thursday, qualifying on a Friday, race 1 on a Saturday, and a race 2 on a Sunday, I guess. But then that means that the best race of the day, the feature race, like in GP2, is on a Saturday. And generally, you want the big event to be on a Sunday, don't you? I mean, at the end of the day, all big sort of sporting events, I know at least, end up happening on a Sunday. So it's a bit strange. It is a bit strange in my opinion, and it'll be a bit confusing. That I mean, I definitely am up for it to be trialled. I'm not totally against it, but I definitely would like to understand this a little bit more, because reverse grids, obviously, it would not work in my opinion if you just took the qualifying order and just completely reversed it. That would be a bit stupid in my opinion. But a two-race format, even though it wouldn't probably be best for the sport, I can see it working somewhat, and I can see it being interesting. I mean, even though GP2 whatever does top 8 reversed, I mean, I think what would be really interesting for Formula 1, and I suppose this is what Hamilton did prove, I mean, completely reversing the grid orders. So, say Rosberg finished first, and Haryanto finished last. Sorry, Haryanto fans. Haryanto starts on pole position for the second race. That would be interesting, in my opinion. You have those cars at the front which could go on a completely crazy strategy to just try and win the race. And the only problem I can see with this is people purposely retiring in the first race to then get a good result in the second race. If it was a complete reverse, that I suppose that's why the top 8, top 10 works in Formula 1. In GP2. Sorry, that people don't sort of jinx the championship. Not jinx isn't the right word. Manufacture a championship. I should say, so that you always manage to get a front row grid. I mean, say you're like the third best driver on the grid, you could just you know, retire from the first race and win the second race, and it'd probably be more beneficial. So even though a complete reverse I suppose would be more interesting, I suppose you've only got to do a partial reverse to make it fair. So yeah, that's it guys, thank you for watching, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Let me know your opinions in comments down below. If you have an idea about this Autosport article, I'd really appreciate if you can let me know about it. But yeah, that's it, thanks for watching, it's been Alex About It, goodbye.